The last couple of live streams for Ashes of Creation has shown us updated archetype class kits to a varying audience reception. A lot of people didn't seem as impressed as they did with the previous system and graphic reveals, mostly in part to the awkward gameplay associated with it, but with the audience's hype level starting to take a slight dip, I think it's time for Intrepid to reveal other gameplay mechanics and systems instead of back-to-back looks at the archetypes. I think it's harder to grasp visually because combat can look a certain way, but it's really about how it feels, and that's not something many of us can experience yet. There can also be instances in where the skills work fine at lower levels, but at higher levels not so much. But now that we've seen enough to form a basic party, here are some things I think we should see in upcoming live streams. We know there is going to be a raid-like battle happening soon. In the January live stream, Margaret mentioned that we will see the Cyclops in action, and also hinted about a shield that we will get more details about in the future. If you remember when they first showed the character model for the Cyclops that roams the river lands, it is a towering monster that's holding an entire tree as a weapon. We may get to see how multiple groups can form a raid team of sorts, and what mechanics may look like on a higher level enemy, with the Cyclops being that enemy. Next, we need to see PvP in action, or even how the system works. PvP is one of the key aspects of Ashes. During the streams leading up to Alpha 1, we did see some 2v2 on the beaches and large-scale battles. I'm sure now, with how combat has been changed, that this will be a different experience. And speaking of different experiences, with the visual upgrade, I can only imagine that castle sieges will take on a whole new look. One of the things that was impressive was how many people or objects could be on screen at a time, and I can't help but to wonder if that is still possible, or if accidentally loading in 1,000 bears on screen will literally cause computers to explode. While we are seeing a lot of foliage on screen, it would be nice to see a huge cluster of character models on the screen, whether it be NPCs, players, or enemies. The main core concept of Ashes that had me interested in it is the node system. In the earlier previews, when they showed off how nodes worked, they kind of just popped into place. They showed some of the mayoral system and how a dragon can just come out and destroy the town because its node progressed to a certain point. Is this how it still works? I'd love to see that scenario recreated in Unreal 5 with the new models. See what changes they made to make the node upgrade feel a bit more special, if any. I understand flourishing graphics and all that will be added more toward the end, as it's all about having the systems in place now, but there has been some changes to other systems that interact with the node system. Naval combat! It's no hard guess that people are eager to see what the naval gameplay has in store for us. What does it look like when we are on the ships? How does fighting work? There is supposed to be a raid boss in the waters. How do players take that on? What I hope is that they don't try to show us everything that they want to have in Alpha 2. With it being persistent, I don't think we need to see everything, and if they are going to be in constant development during Alpha 2, they can still do the live streams and showcase the thing that is going live next, or that they want testing to be focused on. Now I know what you're thinking. They would just turn into Star Citizen. Well, I have some thoughts to share about that soon, but first, what would you like to see in future dev updates? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.